Reese's peanut butter cups are the greatest, but let me play devil's advocate here. Let's see. So, no, that's a good thing. That's definitely not a problem. Reese's, you did it. You stumped this charming devil.
Is this house a good price compared to others in the area? Are prices going up or down? If I don't make an offer right this very moment, will I miss my chance? These are just some of the questions a home buyer might ask. And these are the sorts of questions an agent who is a Realtor can help answer. Because Realtors have the expertise, data, and access to specialty training to help you navigate the process of buying a home. They provide support, guidance, and have your back every step of the way. That's what Realtors do, because that's who we are. Realtors are members of the National Association of Realtors.
What's up, y'all? This is Brother Ali in the mix with Tim Einenkel on The Library, rapstation.com. Keep it right here.
Rah Digga, MC Lyte.
What's up, y'all? This is Tim Einenkel, host of The Library on rapstation.com, and this is part 2 of my interview with Rah Digga. I want to actually, this next question I do want to talk about another female MC, but it's because she's featured on Where You At Mama. It's MC Lyte, which is another, obviously,
my girl.
Obviously a hip-hop legend. So when you're collaborating with someone such as Lyte, do you feel extra pressure to really bring it lyrically, or do you kind of approach it the same you would with any other feature?
All of my features I approach with kill, destroy them, no matter who it is. Like, I only do songs with people that I'm fans of anyway. Like, I'm not one of those people that just collaborate with people because they're hot. Like, I have to genuinely vibe with you and be a fan of your music, because I make music organically. I don't, I've never been that one to like, oh, this one's number one on the charts. Like, we got to get them on a record. Like, if it, for example, the Terminator record, the Storm Coming record with Chuck D, it's a Terminator-themed song. I'm playing Sarah Connor in the song, so for the remix, I thought it only made sense to reach out to John Connor. And, you know what I mean? So I like to make music like that. I'm into concepts, and just musically, it has to make sense. And musically, we have to chill. Like, I'm not going to just do songs with people just because they're hot. And to me, MC Lyte, I feel like I am a direct descendant of her as far as music and style, and she's one of the females that influenced me. So I was honored that, for one, she even accepted the invitation to be on the record. But I don't recall ever feeling lyrical pressure to do songs with people, with the exception of my own crew, the Outsiders. Like, I never even felt lyrical pressure from Flip Mode. I felt more pressure from my Jersey-based crew, because we really come from spitting and battling, and that's just, that competition was just always there with us. I think the only time I may have possibly felt like, what the hell am I supposed to say after that, was the Call an Ambulance remix that I did with Busta. And he had MOP on it, so I was supposed to go, I'm supposed to go after MOP. I'm like, what the hell am I supposed to say after that? I think that is the only time in my career that I've ever felt like, what the hell am I supposed to say after that?
Get out of mama. Don't confuse me with the rest of them screaming women. Catch you from the sideline when my thing is spinning. All my stuff nuggets, my hollow I can't fuck around with them, not on point. When we up in the spot, any rappers that flinch, gon' get mashed out, and I'm smacking they have to do street fights.
You just mentioned your Jersey crew. The Outsiders, and I was trying to stay away from this question, but do you think? I mean, do you feel not just pressure to bring lyrically with them because they're your crew, but also because do you think Jersey's still slept on in the hip hop community?
I think Jersey is very slept on. I've always said from day one, I think Jersey has some of the best, like lyrical technicians. I think Jersey have some of, if not the best, lyricists, in my opinion. But I feel that they all have this sense of, we're underrated. New York, New York never gave us our props. So there's almost even a little anger and ferocity in everybody's music in Jersey. Like we just have like a cockiness that we just know we're the best. And Redman had it. Like most Jersey MCs do have that component, and I think it does come from, we have to be extra lyrical in order to be recognized, because you can be from New York and just talk about flossing and everybody from New York gets a pass, whereas New Jersey artists feel like, no, we got to destroy in order to get attention, and it shows. I hear it in the music.
Yeah, I remember I interviewed Elda Sensei a few months back, and I remember him telling a story about how they used to do New York shows, and then afterwards, while they were leaving, they would tell people they're from Jersey.
I've never felt that way. Like I've carried the Jersey banner, high and proud. So I guess maybe it's different if you're a guy. He probably felt a different pressure from myself being a female. I just didn't think I had to, hide that fact. I always shouted I write my own rhymes. I always, shouted the bricks. I've always, boasted that I don't have to sell sex. I don't have to sell sex. That was all part of my moniker. So I didn't feel that pressure. I don't think Jersey MCs do feel that way, but I think they feel the need to, I guess, make it a point when they're making music. Like I get a lot of, I cross paths with a lot of Jersey artists, and they, we got this. Instead of just saying, "Hey, what's up, Dig? I'm a fan of your work. Want to do it? Can we discuss the possibilities of collaborating?" Instead of just approaching me like any normal artists from anywhere outside of Jersey. Jersey artists have a tendency to say, "Yeah, can we do this record? Because we gotta, us Jersey artists gotta stick together. They don't be trying to put Jersey on." Like there's always like this point to mention that it's a fight for Jersey artists, and I try to tell them, if you don't approach it like that, it won't be a fight. Like, you should just be focusing on making the best music possible, and, whatever fan base you accumulate is yours. You don't have to feel like you have to do anything special, on behalf of New Jersey in order to make it, or in order to feel validated. I don't know, but I get that. I get that a lot from Jersey art. Like every Jersey artist that I would say, like in recent years, that's the newer ones, especially, like that's ever asked me to collaborate. At some point in the conversation, they mentioned, because Jersey, they don't be, New York be trying to front on us, and it's like, do you really think that?
Right.
Like y'all really believe? Like people have really grown up and embedded that in their brain.
And is that because they're not, they're just so new that they're not touring as much, or is there just kind of, it's just something they have?
No, I think it's because they feel like, why is someone like, I guess they probably figure, like, why does a Biggie Smalls have more commercial success than a Redman? Where, lyrically, we like him better. Or, why is all this attention on Kim and Foxy when, Rah Digga's really spitting and, they're just taking off their clothes? It's like, it's that whole, instead of, and it's because, I understand why they, from the outside looking in, I can understand why they might view it that way. but it's not really until you get into a corporate music structure where you really understand how those things work. And I can't sit down and explain to every single person, well, the reason why I'm not number one on Billboard is because I'm not making poppy jingly records. I'm making,
right.
I'm staying true to my art form. And with that, I had to accept the fact that I may never be as commercially successful, as someone who makes those records, who will collaborate with the Lady Gagas of the world. And I'm fine with that. But, to a person who's not in the business or just really understand how the business works, they'll just never understand why Rah Digga is so underrated compared to, like, other females from New York or just other females in general.
Yeah, because you could say that about a New York artist who's not getting commercial success and is lyrically much better than a commercial artist that, you can say that about Mos Def, right? It's like, why isn't Mos Def getting lyrically? He's from Brooklyn. Why isn't he, played on the top charts or anything? It's because he's
right.
Not
it's like people don't really, I guess, take time to understand, like, within themselves. You have to ask yourself a question, like, what are you here for? Are you here to get rich and famous real fast? Do you want to be plastered all over TV and radio and, swarmed by paparazzi? That comes with a certain style, that comes with a certain lifestyle or, music style. Are you just here for the art form and for the culture? If you are, then you have to, accept the fact that you're going to have to work a little harder than the person that's just, using your image or using other things to push forward. And there's nothing wrong with any of it. You just have to like, really ask yourself, what are you here for?
right.
Like, honestly, when I first started rapping, my goal was to host Yell MTV Rap. So anything above and beyond that, performing with Michael Jackson, doing a movie, I feel like I'm a star. I made it.
I want to kind of just switch gears a little bit. I read that you've kind of really focused your attention on a community center in Newark, New Jersey.
Mm-hmm.
Can you kind of tell us about the work you're doing? Also, has your work at this community center influenced you as an artist? And since you've kind of worked more in this community center, do you feel more of a responsibility lyrically in your art form?
One of my community initiatives is the New Jersey Dance Network, and it's an organization that I founded, and that came about from basically just observing a lot of the problems going on in my community. Like, there's a lot of murder, there's a lot of young persons, being incarcerated, the females are getting murdered. And one of the things that I noticed kind of lightens the mood of the community is house music.
Oh, wow.
Like, the house music is very prevalent here in Jersey, especially in Newark. And I've been places, I've witnessed, rival sets in the same location, and a house record comes on, and all of that just goes away. Everybody's just dancing in unison. If 5 minutes ago they were ice grilling each other when, the Young Jeezy song was on, or whatever, whatever rap record was going on at the moment. But when house music comes on, it's almost like a Pied Piper effect. It's like, this is music that we've been growing up listening to since we were born. Anybody that's been born and raised in Jersey, like, you did not escape house music. So I feel like that is the common thread amongst so many people here, and a lot of them being enemies with each other. So this was a community center that I put together for the kids to come together and dance and just kind of, almost like what Breakin' was, the movie Breakin'.
Mm-hmm.
That was the vision for it, to just have a place where, a lot of the kids, they're not performing well in school, but maybe they're a really gifted dancer, or they're a really gifted videographer, or just a place for them to utilize some of their other, talents in the event that they may not go to college. Or a lot of these kids, they are going, they're getting themselves in situations where they're facing life in prison, and they just turned 18, like, 2 days before they got arrested. So it's a really sad state of affairs here with the youth. And having a teenage daughter myself, I think once I stopped being so busy with, being Rah Digga for the label, and just really kind of sat back and started doing things on my own and returned to my roots, I felt I've always been involved, even from day one. I got the key to the city from my mayor back in 2000 when my album, When Dirty Harriet dropped. So I've always been, of any Jersey artist that's ever had to represent, like, I've always showed up. So, people recognize my efforts, and if I say I'm doing something for the community, they believe me. They know it's not just something I'm doing for PR. I'm not walking around with camera crews. I don't have Us Weekly posted down the street with their hidden cameras waiting to snap when when I'm talking to a kid. Like, these are things I do. I deliver food to homeless shelters, personal food. I've been at dinner parties where they're about to throw away whole pans of lasagna and things, and I will take all of that stuff and put it in my car and just drop it off at the nearest homeless shelter. And people are like looking at me like I'm crazy, like, huh? What? Like, first of all, you came here by yourself, number one. You came to this part of town by yourself. And, just the fact that I'll just do these things unannounced, and I'm so in the wind with it. And I guess over time, people just really started acknowledging, like, yo, Digga does a lot for the city. So when I call on the city to do things like, hey, we need a ceasefire, we need to put something together for these kids now, like the town will buck up for me.
It's also it's when you hear, like, it's also frustrating when you talk to people. I mean, like you, who has this arts program, and in this community center, and also then you kind of always ask, like, why are they cutting arts in public schools? If this is the way, if this is a great way to reach out to youth.
Yeah, and that is the effect that I have, and I'm happy. I'm happy that I have it, and I'm happy that when I make songs, it might be the beat, the beats that I prefer might be an unfamiliar sound to the younger artists. Like, they still listen to me. Like, I still have that connection with the youth, and they know, I spit fire. So. But they listen to me. They listen to me. They respect me. It's always funny to see, like, people between ages of like 35 and 45 when I'm out somewhere, they're with their kids, and like the adults are going crazy, like, oh my God, I think this video in that autograph, and the kid is kind of looking like, who is that?
That's so fun.
Mm-hmm.
That's hilarious. So what's the best way for fans and the audience to kind of follow what you're doing musically, but also what you're doing for the community of Newark?
Musically, you can follow me on SoundCloud, Rah Digga Music. I'm actually getting the organization site revamped, but it's NewJerseyDanceNetwork.org. But I would say follow me on Twitter. I'm actually more on Twitter than Facebook. Although as of lately, I've been kind of feeling like I want to communicate more on Facebook. I like Twitter because you I thought, you're always talking directly to that person. It's a little more direct than Facebook. But every now and then, I I get on my little Twitter rants and stuff. I'm definitely an interesting character to follow on Twitter because if anybody knows anything about me, I'm a Sagittarius and I do not bite my tongue. So I'm the real Rah Digga on Twitter. Anytime I release music, it goes to SoundCloud first. So, like I said, Rah Digga Music on SoundCloud. And I believe that's also my Bandcamp ID too, Rah Digga Music. I'm more with the SoundCloud. Like Bandcamp is just here. The stuff is here if you want to purchase. But everything that I do, whether it's sellable or not, will appear on SoundCloud first. So for all those people that are saying, "Oh, Rah Digga, we miss you. When you coming back out with new music?" It's all right there on SoundCloud.
And what's next for Rah Digga?
Wow. I am working on 4 different projects. I'm working on a hip house EP, because that's another thing. If anyone knows about me, they know I am a staunch house head. I actually love house music even more so than rap. Like, that really is my favorite genre of music. So I'm doing like a 3-song hip house EP with some folks from Chicago, and it's called Hood House, So Jersey. It's basically me just like rapping over vintage house tracks, and it's something I just like doing it. That's like the equivalent of me being Sasha Fierce. That's like my alter ego. When when I get in a house music zone, that's like my other persona. I'm working on a actual album. I'm working on 2 albums. I'm the songs that I've been leaking, they're going to be part of like a What Have I Been Up To album, and I plan on releasing that September 23rd. That'll be digital only. That'll be on iTunes, Amazon. And a lot of that, most of that will be the records that I've been leaking, but now you can actually, purchase it as a whole project. I'm going to put together a best of mixtape as well. Just like I do tons and tons and tons of cameo verses that are just kind of all over the place. So I'm going to put a nice blend tape together of just all my cameos from every thing, new stuff, not old stuff. Like everything I've done in like the past 2 years, kind of like another What Have I Been Up To, but that'll be for like that Tiff and the live mixtapes. Because one thing I can't do, I cannot put together a whole album and just give it away as a mixtape. Like, that was cool when I had like major label backing and I could just throw away music because the label was putting this out. But when you're independent, right. you view mixtapes a lot differently. It's like I'm getting verses from people, I'm getting beats from people. Like, I can't just give all this stuff away. So, but I also still need that presence, in that market. So I'm going to put together a blend mixtape just to kind of like remind people, hey, I got some bars, and it'll probably be a lot of things people haven't heard just because there's so many different independent artists out there just, putting things on SoundCloud and the internet. And I know a lot of that stuff doesn't reach the masses, so I want to put it all together in a blend tape form. And then I'm putting out another album probably between October and November, and that'll be all brand new stuff. And I'm only working with 3 producers for that project. I'm only working with Quayle Chris, Oh No, and Alchemist for that project. So that's like my dream trifecta producer team right there. I want to do a whole album just with those guys. So that will come after the September 23rd album. And then lastly, I am working on a 7-song live band EP with my band, and that was something that, we just kind of put together in fun. They expressed wanting to get into, production with their live instruments. I said, let's try something. So I came up with a cool concept for us to do it. And, we're putting it together slowly but surely. It'll probably, they tour with Bernie Worrell, so those guys are, like, always busy. But I'm looking at maybe sometime between Thanksgiving and Christmas for that release. So yeah, I've got my hands pretty full, but I'm working it.
Right, and make sure you eat in between.
Oh yeah, you know what? I've actually lost weight. So. And I didn't even realize I was losing it. I just people just out of the blue just started asking me, "Are you losing weight? Are you losing weight?" I'm like, I don't know. Am I? Oh my goodness! And then because I never stand on a scale because I actually gained a few pounds over the years. I was like, I just got rid of all the scales in the house. but once people started asking me, did I lose weight? I was like, you know what? I don't know. Did I? I just started noticing, wow, I look different in pictures. Mama's double chin is fading. Okay. Then I stepped on a scale wow, I really lost weight. Okay. So, it's amazing. It's amazing how much your life changes when when you're really, working on a project versus when you're just kind of, chilling and living life and making music for fun.
Wow, I think you're probably the busiest person in the industry right now, I imagine.
Well, I hope my efforts aren't in vain. I know I got so many fans, and it really breaks my heart when people ask me, "What's up? When you getting back in the game?" And it's I hate just having to explain to everybody. Well, you hear what's going on in music now, right?
Yeah.
You know the type of music I make, right? Right. All I can tell people is just, keep your ears to the blogs, keep your eyes on the, on these sites, and just look out for me. I'm here. I can't, I tell people, I can't promise you I'll be all over television and radio again, but I can promise you I haven't stopped making music.
Right. Are you able to tour as much as you would like to, or is it just a lot harder?
Oh yeah, no. Actually, I tour a lot because I do put out. I do leak a lot of music, so I'll go through my little phases where a couple of months might go by without me having leaked anything. But since I've been leaking music on a weekly basis for maybe the past month and a half now. So, and that's not going to stop. Now I just have so much stuff that it's okay, this got to go, this got to go, this got to go, this got to go. So I think if I just stay on my present course, I think people will, eventually connect the dots. Okay, she's real, yeah, she's really out here making music. Because with these blogs, it's every week. If I leak a song every week for 2 months straight, every song I'll see a comment that says, "Oh snap, Rah Digga's back. I didn't know she was still making music." I see that with every song that I leak, so I know everything doesn't reach everyone.
Right.
But the key to being independent is consistency. So I'm definitely, feeling okay, I am still making music. I know I've been doing it leisurely up to this point, but now I feel okay, with the climate of music and just everything that's going on, I have a lot to say. And the people, that have been waiting for Rah Digga or maybe don't give a shit about Rah Digga, they need to hear it either way.
Nice. The great Rah Digga, thank you so much for joining me on The Library with Tim Einenkel on rapstation.com.
Oh, thank you for having me. I love you all.
Thank you.
And like my Facebook page, Rah Digga Music.
Thank you for your courage through the dark years. I can't help you with what you must soon face, except to say that the future is not set. You must be stronger than you imagine you can be. You must survive, or I will never exist.
It's a storm coming, it's a storm coming, it's a storm coming, it's a storm coming. What you gon' do? Who can you trust? When you feel like heat coming, are you ready to fight? If we have to, we have to, we have to, we have to. Feel like heat coming. If we have to, we have to, we have to, we have to, we have to. Feel like heat coming. If we have to, son, hope you hearing every word in my chronicle. Hope it's finding you in good health, living honorable. Caught a glimpse to the future and it don't look bright. You're gonna be in for one hell of a fight. It's a war going on outside, no artist safe from. They let you cake some, unlike that May son. OG, my straight spit from day one. They tell you switch it up, just keep the fake, son. Don't let them digitize you, epitomize you. It's just another nigga with a mic, telling lies to unsuspected fans. Be a self-respecting man. Remember mommy tales of PE and X-Plan. Bam! Fast forward to the present day debacle. They bring you underground when you wanna preach the gospel. That 13th apostle, that wasn't on the roster. Found out I was a female and that they couldn't stop her. Your mama was a soldier, heavy burden on my shoulders. Still be spitting. If I had to do it over, they forever tried to terminate me, underrate me. With weed, they sedate me, even tried to percolate me. Now here comes safety, but none of them could tackle. Occasional snafu, I wear that magic lasso, whipping up them bars and singing favor like the castle. Feel like heat coming, start busting if you have to. It's a storm coming, it's a storm coming, it's a storm coming, it's a storm coming. What you gon' do? Who can you trust? When you feel like heat coming, are you ready to fight? If we have to, we have to, we have to, we have to. Feel like heat coming. If we have to, we have to, we have to, we have to, we have to. Feel like heat coming. If we have to, I don't know where to begin, how to tell you how to win, but I do know it's gonna come down to the rhymes in the end. Some pursue other ventures, some lost they step. We done came a long ways from the days of salt and pep. They told me sex sells, I took the red pill. I chose to stay street, let culture prevail. I agreed to the weed and coined the ponytail. Girls nipping there, tucking, I said, what the hell? I ain't signed up for that, but to each they own. Said it's easier to market, easier to clone, easier to brainwash little kids at home. Easy for the machines to set the tone. Now, some say it's high class, some say it's Gucci. All up in the mags, greased up in a two-piece. First comes the nip slip, then comes the new leaks, then comes the sex tape. If I'm lying to me, I ain't need nothing but a pen and some loose leaf. Speakers on blast, whipping round in that two-seat. Jumping out, bam, showtime, just me and the band. Right checking in my B-girl stance, I'm cocaine. Fame is a hell of a drug. How far you gon' go? Trying to get that buzz. How many you gon' up? Trying to get that plug. In the future, are you still gon' get that love? Ladies, it's a storm coming. It's a storm coming. It's a storm coming. It's a storm coming. What you gon' do? Who can you trust? When you feel like heat coming, are you ready to fight? If we have to, we have to, we have to, we have to. Feel like heat coming. If we have to, we have to, we have to, we have to, we have to. Feel like heat coming. If we have to.
Ladies and gentlemen, the president.
Thank you, Rah Digga. No more silence with violence, just guidance. And let a mother be heard with that true word. No matter how much the powers that be disturbed. And if it is what it is, let us define our kids. Make strong daughters and end the slaughter of our sons. This on your brother Chuck D. One.
There's a storm coming in.
I know, I know, I know, I know, I know, I know, I know.
Reese's peanut butter cups are the greatest, but let me play devil's advocate here. Let's see. So, no, that's a good thing. That's definitely not a problem. Reese's, you did it. You stumped this charming devil.
It's one thing falling in love with a house, picturing yourself moving in and calling it home, and quite another navigating the world of price negotiating, mortgage lenders, and finding the budget that works best for you. An agent who's a realtor can make understanding that world easier. Realtors have the expertise, access to proprietary data, and tools to help you get from imagining living somewhere to actually doing it. That's the kind of help we can provide. Because that's who we are. Realtors are members of the National Association of Realtors.